Hello, welcome back to another video. How is everyone doing today? How are you all feeling after the other night? Are you calmed down yet? Has everyone relaxed a little bit? Personally, I am. I'm starting to feel relatively, not over it as such, but I'm starting to, I can breathe now, you know. I can take it all in. I can get a sense of perspective. I went out for a walk last night with the missus, and we're all feeling good. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel, please do hit that like button and press that subscribe button if you want loads of Manchester City content. Of course, we're going to chat about transfers today, which is always a lovely little tonic after a Champions League exit. Not many things get you going like the idea of a bit of a squad refresh. Do we need a massive squad refresh? Probably not. I think people tend to overreact and we all look at the negatives far too much after a week like that. It's human nature. Even I do it every now and then. But at the same time, I think it's fair to say we may be staring down the face of a little bit of a squad refresh anyway, just because of the general cadence of this squad and where the players are and how some contracts are expiring and given what we need. So I don't think this is a reaction to anything. I think it's more just the inevitable. It's just the inevitable place where Manchester City are at. So that's what we're going to try and do today. We're going to discuss in as much detail as possible where Manchester City might approach their summer transfer dealings and all that kind of stuff, and you know, the usual kind of stuff, and discuss it together. I've even got like a little bit of a notepad on here, like, you know, we'll throw it together and we'll work it out, and you guys can help me with the links and all this kind of stuff, and we'll try and work out what's going to be happening and all this kind of thing. So it should be fun. It should be an awful lot of fun, and thank you for everyone who's already tuning in. Don't forget to give the video a like. It helps in the algorithm. You know, YouTube will see that people have liked it, and more people come along and share the joy. So let's get to 100 likes nice and quickly. So where we're at with this City squad and all this kind of stuff, it's going to be interesting. Big love also always to Patrick, a member for 21 months now. Patrick, you absolute legend. You said, hope you're well, Stephen. Was pretty numb yesterday to all but Gorn's reports last night. Pep Farry's hungry pressure, and I'm ready for we go again on Sunday. Exactly where I am. I was numb yesterday morning, but then Jack Gorn, who's the Northwest reporter for the Daily Mail, suggested that, you know, that a contract could be coming for Pep Guardiola and a bit of a summer refresh. Then, of course, Pep today was absolutely on fire in the press conference, and I'll cover that probably tomorrow in my match preview, which got me going too. If you haven't seen that, Pep Guardiola was on fire today in the press conference. He was so up for it. He was so passionate and so defensive of his squad and his players and everything he's achieved. And he gave the impression of a man who really wants to be here. And when you've got a situation like that, well, you're going to support your man, aren't you? You're going to back him in his transfer wishes. Aaron A saying, who's his therapist? A guy who talks about City on YouTube. I'll do it, man. If you ever need some therapy sessions, I'm your man. I've been through a lot in life for my 36 years of age. You know, I've had a good life, but I've been through a lot of bizarre things in my life. So I think I can speak from relative experience when it comes to dealing with heartbreak and broken promises and nonsense that the world can throw at you. So I feel in a decent situation there. Good evening to everyone in the chat, by the way. We've got Alfie here, we've got Paolo, Aaron A, Jonathan Gordon, Steve Collingham, Jordan Burns, Steve Browning, member Stephen, great name Stephen, Aman, Simon, Dunzo, Omu, which is a good name, Mo, Sam, SS7, Vlad, Shib, and so many more people. Is what it is. Already the first super chat of the day. Thank you so much, man. Don't forget, I try and read members' comments and super chats out. It's the least I could do for the support on the channel. A man saying, is Bernardo thinking of leaving? Well, this is what we're going to try and get to the bottom of today, mate. Bernardo, I don't think we know what's going on with Bernardo yet. There were some suggestions that Bernardo could potentially leave still, that he hasn't fully settled. I don't really know, but we will get onto that today. Absolutely, a man. For now, though, we're going to start in terms of the actual potential incomings and all this kind of thing, because it's going to be interesting. Haaland soon come. Well, indeed, Jerry. Let's go over to the notepad, the glorious notepad. How do you become a member? I'll put a link. If anyone wants to become a member, yeah, it does, of course, require, you know, supporting the channel a little bit. If you have got a few quid to throw my way, thank you so much. If not, I appreciate it. It's a lot for everyone right now. But this is how, no worries if you can't, I'll put it there. That's how you become a member in that comment, and I'll pin it there. If you want to, wonderful. If not, wonderful too. I understand it entirely, and I always get to as many comments as I can. Thank you, Stephen. It's very kind of you. So when we get to the incomings and all this kind of stuff, where are we? You know, we're here. Let's have a look. I need to be able to see the comments. Does it? If I go over here, does that move? Does this move? You know? No, it doesn't. That's all good. It's okay. So, potential players in. You guys can help me thrash this out a little bit. I'm just going to type it. It's going to be Haaland, isn't it? You know, potential. I mean, these aren't guarantees. I'll put that there. So, Haaland we've been linked to. That's an obvious one. Alvarez pretty much confirmed. I put him pretty much confirmed because that's almost certainly going to happen, isn't it? I'll put players in. You know, I'll subcategorize it. Confirmed, basically, is Alvarez. The strong chance, I would say, is Haaland. Maybe very strong chance. So I'm going to say that very strong chance is Haaland. Who else? Who are the links? Let's have a look. Links. We're linked to Mateus Nunes, of course. We also linked to Frenkie de Jong, aren't we? That we'll get through that in a minute. Oh, Frenkie, it's auto corrected there. Frenkie de Jong. And who else have we been linked to at the moment? Pau Torres has been linked. Yeah, I don't really see that, but we'll go through them all. And Kunku has been linked as well. That's true. He's always easier to spell because when you break his name down, it's the same thing, half and half. Look at that there. It's just literally Unku at the same time. Yeah, Rafael Leo as well. It's Rafael, isn't it? It's Rafael, isn't it? Leo has been linked. These are the players that we've been linked to that I'm aware of. Bellingham seems Lodi. Have we been linked to Lodi? I don't recall any links there. I mean, this is like, does anyone actually seen genuine links to a left back? Because I haven't seen any personally. So I'd be lying if I mean, if so, this is not guessing who we want. It's more I'm trying to look at actual links because I haven't seen any links personally to Lodi. So we're just chatting about all this. No, I mean, I haven't seen any personally. These are the names that I've seen. I'm going to put press links, you know. I've seen Bellingham mentioned tenuously, but I think there's next to zero chance. This is where we're at. Let's look at the players that will go out, potential players out, and we'll go through them all. No, I'll just put not confirmed, just guessing, and we'll go through all that, and then we'll go through them all individually, basically, because I think it's a good way to do it, you know? We'll have a good old chat together. Oh, we got a new member. Oh, thank you so much, Dylan, man. You fucking legend, pal. Well, let's go over here. Let's just get Dylan on the wall of fame, because Dylan, you fucking deserve to. You deserve to be there, Dylan. It's hard to type it. Is it Dylan Blackett, isn't it? There you go, mate. You are going on the wall. Dylan Black is my hero. Thank you so much, Dylan. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, man. Really appreciate it. Absolutely. So, I mean, it makes it easier for me to see your comments, obviously. Dylan, you should be on the wall any second now, man. Where are you? You'll be on there next to all those beautiful people. There you are, next to Azaria. Thank you so much, Dylan. So we're looking at the potential outs here. Thank you so much, Dylan. Go back over to the notepad. Oh, right. Do you know what? I'm going to have to find a new way to move my laptop out of the way. And we're talking about players that, you know, have been linked to go out. I would say Sterling, Defo, Jesus, Bernardo is still linked to go out, but we'll discuss this still. Who else is there? Let's have a look. Yeah, Gundo was roughly discussed, so we'll go over him. Gundo as well. Yeah, I saw that as well. Obviously, yeah, Ferner's done. Confirmed. Fernandinho, yeah. I mean, but speculative, you know. I mean, I put speculative links here. I mean, there was Mahrez, wasn't there? Mahrez at one point. Laporte, I can't see it, but a little while back. I don't know. Stefan, potentially, yeah. I would say, you know, Mahrez, Stefan, Laporte. We're just getting, but essentially we're just spitballing here, you know. Can't see the bottom of the list. All right, let me just move it up a little bit. Apologies. I'll fix that right now for you. There we go. How do I resize this? Where we go? Let me resize it so it fits for you. There you go. There we go. So here's some guesses. So I'll put a little tick next to who we're talking about right now. So I'll put a little... Mahrez, we're going to talk about him. We'll get to every player. We're going to talk about Mahrez because his contract. So we're going to talk about... I'll put a tick next to who we're talking about, right? I'll put a little key. I'll put a hands up thing. So people know who we're talking about. You know... There we go. This is the way to do it, okay? So we're going to go through Alvarez. We'll start at Alvarez right now, okay? So I think that makes sense. Was Enzo Fernandez not linked? I have not seen Enzo Fernandez linked, and honestly, I could tell you absolutely no idea about that. Like, was he linked? I mean, it feels a bit... He wouldn't be... Oh, yeah, he was. No, he won't be for the first team, so he'll be a CFG thing, almost certainly. So we're talking about Alvarez now. You know, let's talk about Alvarez. I think, does that make sense? That little kind of key thing. It does, doesn't it? I think it does. I think Enzo would be a CFG thing. It doesn't strike me as a first team thing, I reckon. So Alvarez, you know, Alvarez is almost certainly, you know, he's coming in, isn't he, Alvarez? I think we all know that. We all understand it. Oh, Mendy confirmed out. All right, well, yeah, I guess there's a super chat there. I'll go over to the super chat from Sia. Yeah, I mean, it's technically true, Sia. I mean, it's a bit grim because, you know, I the subject matter and all that kind of stuff. But Mendy is confirmed out. Thank you for the super chat, of course. Hugely appreciated. But that is very grim. It's very grim, but very true, unfortunately. You know, yeah, I hate talking about Mendy. It makes me all feel a bit sad and a bit crazy because it's Mendy and it's all grim and not very nice, is it? But this is where we're at with the world right now. There's another member as well. Thank you so much, man. Jinan Islam. Let me try and get you on the Wall of Fame too, because you deserve to be there. Thank you so much for support, Jinan. Massively appreciated. I'm going to get you on the Wall of Fame now. Thank you for the members. Members, don't forget, if you are a member, we're going to try and do the fan view live. You guys will have a chat to me as well if you want to. You can jump on and do video calls and all that kind of stuff. So let me get Jinan on there. Thank you so much to Jinan on the Wall of Fame quickly. But yeah, with Alvarez, I think it's almost certain, like, he's going to come in and join the first team. It just makes sense, doesn't it, Alvarez? Like, I think Pep wants him. Pep's talked to a little bit about him coming in, so I can't really complain massively. Where are you? So, thank you. Yeah, Mendy out, definitely. We won't talk about him because it's grim. And, of course, you'll be able to see Jinan, by the way. Thank you so much. There you there at the bottom, Jinan Islam. Thank you so much for the support. Jinan. And also there is, of course, Trey Waters. Thank you so much, Trey, for the super chat, man. Big love, Trey. Thank you so much. Says, what's up, Stephen? Do you think we, Man City, have resilience as a squad, or is it something we have to build or buy some players? You show that much in games like the other day. Much love, man. We have to talk on fan video again soon. We do indeed. No, I absolutely do think we have resilience. I do think it was a moment of craziness in football. Football does that every now and then, but we don't win this many games in a row and do it so many times with Liverpool chasing us down without having great resilience. You know, players are human. Every now and then they can make mistakes, but I do believe they have resilience because they've won so many trophies over the past few years. You don't win it. You don't survive games like Atletico. You don't survive Liverpool games and all this kind of stuff and beat Chelsea twice in the season without resilience. They are human. They can lose games every now and then, but I do think this City side has plenty of resilience. It doesn't mean they'll win every game. But it is how it is. But much love to you too, pal. I really, really appreciate the support. You're absolutely fucking legend. Thank you so much, Trey. Cannot wait to chat to you one day again. And Jinan, legend, man. So, yeah, Alvarez, I think we all agree he's definitely coming in, right? Alvarez, that's almost a certain. Now, we'll go over to Haaland. The Haaland one's interesting. Haaland, I do think this is going to happen personally. And you know what? It sounds crazy saying that. But Haaland, to me, it just feels likely, doesn't it? It feels likely. Haaland, like the only slight fear for me, like, is the that Real Madrid, there is this talk about Mbappe and PSG and all this kind of stuff. I am still I'll probably say I'm in the 80s or something like that, 80s with Haaland. I'll only say it's a done deal when I actually believe it's a done deal. But in percentages of the hype train, I'm probably in the 80s or something like that, honestly. But I'm a little bit cautious just because he's, we know it's not. We know they haven't had a bid accepted yet because Dortmund are a PLC. So any major business like that affects the shareholders. They have to announce it because if they've accepted a bid, if the bid's gone in and City accepted it, they have to let the shareholders know because it goes against stock market rules and regulations. So we know City haven't officially triggered that release fee clause. Why? I don't know. It could be that they can't do it until after July the 1st. It might be like the contract, that's when it happens. It could be that, I don't know. I just don't know. But I do think Haaland has said yes to Man City. I believe that. But until they actually trigger that release clause, I'm going to try and not remain too giddy. But I think Haaland is a very, very, very good chance, a very good chance. He's a quality player. He fucking changes everything. I mean, he's an actual superstar, isn't he? And I love the idea of that. Like, I love the idea of Haaland coming in. He's just... he's a wonderful, wonderful footballer who would absolutely have that killer instinct, man. That killer instinct that we need. It's just... City need this, don't they? Fingers crossed he will do. Press links. What do we all reckon to the Matheus Nunes links? He's obviously played against us for Sporting. Guardiola was really complimentary about him. I'm going to try and find that quote that Guardiola said about Nunes. But Guardiola said something like very positive. He said he's one of the best players in the world today, Matheus Nunes. Obviously that is a huge bit of praise. For a very good player, actually. Obviously, he had a hard time against us, but he fits the profile. 23 years old. He would be able to play, of course, as a backup potentially to Rodri. What does everyone reckon? I actually think there's something in this potentially with Nunes, mainly because I think it's the kind of transfer that would get done pretty easily. You know what I mean? I don't think we'd struggle to actually get it done, and I think we like transfers that come relatively easily. So I do think with Nunes, there is relative truth in this, as Alfie's just said, 23-year-olds from Portugal just seems so Man City, doesn't it? It really, really does. So I do think with Nunes, we kind of sort of have to, you know what? Yeah, potentially. Like I think with Nunes, we have to consider it. Like, he's a good player. Will it happen? I don't know. Is he a Manchester City level player? Well, if Guardiola loves him that much, then maybe he is. Guardiola does every now and then exaggerate. But you know what? I would be the first to lie to say that I'm an expert on Nunes. Like, if anyone's watched a lot more on Nunes than me, please let me know in the comments and I'll read it out right now. One thing I did recognise, as Freddie's just said, he does seem really comfortable on the ball. And of course, if you're going to play Man City, you have to be very comfortable on the ball. So I do trust that he has the ability as a technical player. I do trust he has the ability as a technical player to play for Man City, but I've not watched him over the course of a season because I simply don't follow Sporting, so someone else would have to comment on that for me. He would add depth, and I think it's fair to say we need depth. Fernandinho, of course, he's leaving, there are some rumours about Gundogan getting a little bit older. It could be his last season, apparently, according to the odd rumour here and there. But, it is what it is. There could be another midfield coming in. I mean, the one for me is I want to talk about. This is interesting for me because I really want to talk about. Oops, I'm highlighting the wrong thing there. I want to talk about Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong is a player that we've just been linked to. Like, that's kind of popped up over the past few hours, basically. There was reports yesterday from the Telegraph that City are preparing to refresh their squad this summer amid hope that Pep Guardiola will extend his contract. A City water midfielder, allegedly. This is from Jack Gorn, who said that capable of operating both in a reserved holding possession and more in an advanced role. So basically, we sort your vision out camera. What? I mean, it looks good to me. I'm sorry. It's nice and sharp. I'm not sure what someone's on about there. Either way, I'm pretty certain everything's in focus and all this kind of stuff, It looks good to me. But yeah, there was talks that we want a guy, essentially, who's capable of going forward and capable of playing a bit deeper. For me, that is Frenkie de Jong, as Roach just said. Frenkie de Jong can play both advanced. He can play as a centre defensive midfielder or a central attacking midfielder. He can play in both of the roles. He's a really good footballer, and City genuinely were very close to signing him, man. They were really close to signing him when he went to Barcelona. We'd had the nod. Honestly, we'd had the nod. I got told that. But, that's what it is. Oh, Ahmed, that's incredibly nice. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ahmed. That's ridiculously generous of you. Thank you so much, man. Let me get Ahmed's super chat on the screen. Ahmed Ali, you absolute legend, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, and sadly, Ahmed, that isn't a rumor. Unfortunately, Mino did pass away, which is it's awful. Like I read Erling Haaland's tribute to him and how essentially he was like a father to him, and I think we don't realise sometimes how much Mino Raiola was looking out for his clients. I know Mino ruffled an awful lot of feathers in football. He wasn't the most popular man, but he was an incredibly successful man who did pave the way, I guess, for this era of super agents. Very outspoken, very controversial, but the guy knew how to look after his clients and get them to the very top of the game, So we have to admire his impact on the game and what he did. And could it impact the Haaland deal? Look, it feels a little bit crass, I guess, sometimes guessing with these things. I don't really know. For what it's worth, you've got to consider that with Mino Raiola, he ran a business. He wasn't an individual. He would have had people working for him. He would have had loads of people who understood exactly what he wanted. And I know City were talking to Mino Raiola, throughout his illnesses, because obviously he carried on with his job and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it will really change anything personally. I think Alfie was involved quite a lot. I think the best thing to consider right now is that people like Haaland and Alfie, they were friends with Mino. They need time to grieve. They need time to get over this. I mean, the guy, they lost a friend, not just a business colleague, a close friend. So we have to consider these things sometimes, Ahmed. Not that you're not doing that, of course, but I think ultimately, I guess what I'm trying to get out with the whole business thing is that it's not just him running that company, he will be running a big company there. So rest in peace to him, of course. And I can't imagine what it feels like for Erling and Alfie and his close family and friends. It's awful. Thank you so much, Ahmed, by the way, for the super chat, man. Absolutely fucking hugely appreciate. Thank you, pal. Ahmed, you're a great bloke. Drop me an email, man. I'd love to say thank you. So yeah, back to Frenkie de Jong. I mean, the report from Jack Gorn says that it's a belief that Man City need to add numbers in central midfield, where there's hope that McAtee could be afforded more game times next season. I would love James McAtee to get more game time. Obviously, he's got all the quality in the world. He's a fantastic player. I love James McAtee, and we'll get on to him in a quick second. Thank you so much to Ian as well for the super chat, who says Enzo Fernandez River Plate linked to as well. Yeah, do you know what? I'll add him to the list because you're right, he was linked to. I don't think that's going to happen personally because I think largely that's a City football group thing, but we'll add him to the list anyway and get on to him in a bit, mate. Thank you so much, Ian, for the super chat. Really appreciate it, pal. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Legend. Back over to the notepad of doom. Where are we at? We're at Frenkie currently. So yeah, with Frenkie de Jong, do you know what? I think there could be something in this with Frenkie. Genuinely. Does anyone else feel like there could be something in it? Because City really wanted him. He just suits Man City so much. And there's some rumours that, they're struggling financially. They could be forced to sell him. And what's really encouraging with the Frenkie de Jong stuff is I've seen actual figures being bandied around. Like, when you see figures being bandied around, it's usually because someone's heard something of some stature or something like that. The notepad of doom, says Manchester City there. Imagine that was actually Man City, just like notepad of dooming you. By the way, can I ask, did anyone see the vlog I did? Not vlog. There was a video I did on Manchester City's YouTube channel. I went to Hamburg, worked with Man City and Next Tire. Could you all do me a massive favour? I would really appreciate the support. Could you jump over to the vlog and give me a little bit of love over there for that? Because it would be hugely appreciated. It's a really good video as well. It's a really good video. I went away to Germany. I had a great time. I met a City fan, big City fan out there. I'll just try and jump over to it actually now. 1 second. I'll get it up on screen. I don't want to show any of the game though, but here we go. Where is it? Let me get it on screen right now. I'm buzzing. It was an incredible experience. Genuinely a wonderful experience to be out there working with City. It's called Man City beat Berlin and Hamburg. I watched it, yeah. I went out there, watched the game, travelled around Hamburg, met other City fans and had a wonderful time. And yeah, it's weird doing this work with City, but this is where I am now. So doing this kind of stuff. So if you want to show a little bit of support, that would be hugely appreciated. Thank you so much. Go over there, give it a comment, show the video a little bit of love, and I would be hugely appreciative. It's fucking cool, man. It's really cool. I'll play a few seconds of it.
First ever supporters club here in Germany. I cannot wait to meet him.
It's just wonderful. Look at this. Doing stuff with City.
I know, it's lovely, man.
Great to meet you. Give that video
Very
a
nice
watch.
to finally meet you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Let City know that you like that kind of content. Hopefully we do loads more of it, you know. Then buzzing.
Leonard, you're a Manchester City fan living in Germany. How?
Yeah, so that's me working with City out there in Germany. Amazing. Back to the No Bad of Doom. Yeah, I was buzzing. Thank you so much, Parachute. It's really appreciated. I don't work with Man City, no, actually. I did do some stuff with City, but I'm not employed by Man City, if that makes sense. They just invited me over, and I was like, yeah, go for it, man, and I'll absolutely love to. So that's where I'm at. It's a weird timeline, but I'm not complaining, man. I love this timeline where I'm doing stuff with a club that I absolutely love. So thank you so much. Go over there. It's Hamburg, Alfie. Seoul will be in a couple of weeks. I can't wait for the Seoul one. The Seoul one was absolutely incredible. Fish burger review. It was really nice. It was like essentially a really good fish finger butty. It was incredible. But yes, back to the video. So with Frenkie, there was rumours that essentially, where has it gone? Let me try and find it. Like basically, they possibly sell for around 60 million euros. Thank you, I'm Harbinger. Cheers, thank you, really appreciate it, Paul. But yeah, there's rumours around 60 million euros. I really like it when we see a number, because it implies that there are, when we see a number, it implies that there are reasons for that number, i.e. like Barcelona have touted the idea. He's apparently not very happy either. So Frenkie de Jong, I would take him in a heartbeat. When it comes to the wages, yeah, he's on high wages, I absolutely agree. But, I think he'd probably be a compromise of some kind if he came in, and I'm sure he'd be very happy. I think there's a chance, I think there's a chance. So we go down to Pau Torres. This one's interesting. We've been linked to him for a while. Personally, I can't really see it with Pau Torres. Like, I don't know. It feels like someone who's on a list if something went wrong. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I think Man City will have a list of players like for each position, and they'll be like, if we need a centre back, we'll go for any of these players. With Pau Torres, like, look, if we sell Laporte, for example, yeah, if Laporte goes, maybe we get Torres. Like, he's very similar to Laporte, man. Like, I don't really want him personally. I know people like him, some people do, but I don't know. I'd rather just play Diaz and Ake and Stones, and then bring through one of the young lads. But so he's linked to him. I'm not really that bothered by him. I think it's really it's unlikely personally, but it is what it is. Pau Torres, very unlikely, circumstantial if something went wrong. Let's go on to Nkunku. Nkunku, obviously a guy who scored a hat-trick against Man City, and since then he's exploded an awful lot. So what does everyone personally make of the links to Nkunku? I have not really seen many strong links, but there were some. There were some knocking about a while back. It's obviously possible that City could. I mean, he's brilliant. Don't get me wrong. There's the idea that City could refresh the forward line, given some of the players that are linked away. Obviously Sterling's been linked away. Mahrez was sorted. Gabriel Jesus was. We'll get onto them in a minute as well. But could we get him, man? He's absolutely phenomenal. I don't know if we'll go for it, mainly just because we've got Alvarez and Haaland coming in. That is where I feel like it might be a little bit unrealistic. I think we're looking at a guy worth £100 million here, I mean, that sounds about right, doesn't it? I mean, given the fact that we're already raiding potentially the Bundesliga for another player, like this guy will be just, like, how much would he be worth? Like 100 million or something? They'd ask for something like that, wouldn't he? Like, he's scored just so many goals, man. Alvarez can play as a winger. He can take us. So we've got, he's scored 32 goals in 49 games and got loads. But like 65, do you reckon? I don't know, man. I feel like it'd be, like 45, 60. Okay. I want, that's interesting for me, because I presumed it'd just be a lot higher. I presumed it'd be an awful lot higher. Leipzig aren't like his skin. So, yeah, maybe if it's 60, maybe we go for it. But I feel like, some signings are circumstantial. I feel like he's one that could be that, Really good player, don't get me wrong. Really good player. He's been linked to United, hasn't he? Okay, Sergeant Tom said we saw him linked to United for around 60. 60 to 75 says Rowett. One thing I would say is if we get Alvarez, Cole Palmer coming through, I don't think City would go for it. Maybe, but it depends who leaves. Mo said he's his Sterling replacement. Lawrence said he's a good Jesus replacement. I think Alvarez is the Jesus replacement. And I think Haaland's the long-term Aguero non-replacement, personally. He's more of a winger, isn't he? He's a winger, more of a Sterling kind of thing, like out wide. And yeah. So I don't really see it, but we'll see. We'll see. What does everyone think about... It says Leto there, not Leo. What does everyone think about Rafael Leo then? Now, he has been linked. Let me just try and find the links from Rafael Leo. Because I've seen some links going around, you know. Let me just discuss the rumours if we can find them. Let me just find the links to... I want to discuss the actual links and where they came from and so on. But he's a guy, another one. He's a winger. This came from Italy. That City want to sign the AC Milan forward. Apparently Guardiola has fallen in love with him, in inverted commas. He's currently in the middle of contract talks though at AC Milan, so you've got to consider these things. Yeah. So, like, he's a really good player. He's come from Calcio Mercato. And then Sport Witness translated it. He's a very good dribbler. I actually agree with that. For what I've seen of him, he seems really lively and really on it. So, I'm kind of with Gaz. I do think he's actually using his agent here. I think Mendes is using Man City to get his contract. I don't think City will go for him. Having said that, it's not unrealistic. Once again, he is a proper inside forward. Yeah, I actually agree. He's a really good bet there. You know, there is a potential that we could go for him and get him in. It doesn't feel likely for me. Yeah, I actually remember when we were linked to Rafael Leo when he was just a youth player, you know, so that we were linked to him back then. 2 or 3 years ago, I remember that. I think I even discussed him in a video at some point. So there's a potential there, but I think that's one to very much keep an eye on right now. He would step in if someone like Mahrez and Sterling decided to go, I reckon. Jude Bellingham next. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love Jude Bellingham. We've been linked to him very tenuously. The reports just say that we're watching him. Jude Bellingham's fantastic, isn't he? He's a phenomenal player, like absolutely brilliant. But it feels to me that Jude Bellingham is a year too early. Like, if you think that Dortmund are gonna let Bellingham go at the same time as Haaland, fucking no chance. Genuinely no chance. Next to no chance. It's just never gonna happen in a million years, you know. Sadly, it's a dream signing, but it's just not going to happen. That's my personal opinion. Don't get me wrong. I would love him to come in right now, but I just don't see it. It feels unlikely for me. I mean, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. But yeah, I mean, for me, he's a dream signing. It really is. I think he's going to the very top. Is he only 18 still? Don't Liverpool want him? Yeah, Liverpool want him too. We're looking at over 100 million for Bellingham. Almost certainly. Especially to an English club, because Dortmund aren't stupid, man. They fucking know the value of someone like Bellingham coming in. One for the future, potentially. So there's something to consider there. Bellingham, I would love it, but I can't really see it right now, personally. Maybe a pre-agreement, Roman? I don't think so, just because of the financial cost. So Enzo Fernandez, what do people know about him? Look, with Enzo Fernandez, honestly, I'm not an expert, but when I was reading about Enzo Fernandez to Man City, it felt like a City football group signing, potentially. Mainly because I don't think he's quite at City's level yet. That's the impression I got from him. I could be wrong. There were some links. We always feel like we're linked to these players, you know. Apparently, but then it's a bit hard to get, you know, get him into the first team. So I feel like he's the kind of person we'd sign and we'd loan him out to some, like, you know, La Liga club or something like that. I don't know. He's currently playing for River Plate. I'm pretty certain, like, is he... I'm looking at his history now. How established is he? Like, he's... Yeah, I had a feeling he wasn't insanely established. Isn't this like his relative breakthrough this season? Yeah, I mean, do you remember when we signed that guy? What was he called? The other one. The only Argentinian midfielder that we got and scored loads in pre-season, and he was really good. Then he went on loan to loads of clubs in England, and he was like a young Frank Lampard, but he never quite made it. What was he called? You all guys know, you know the guy I'm on about. I've forgotten his name. It slipped my mind. Big brownie points to whoever gets it. first. Zuccolini, that was it. Bruno Zuccolini, yeah. It feels a bit like that, doesn't it? It feels like that for him. So for me, I really like Zuccolini. I thought he was just really fun. Zucchini, yeah, like a vegetable. But Zuccolini, yeah, I feel like Enzo Fernandez reminds me a little bit of him. So let's get onto the players out a bit and discuss these a little bit. Sterling, right? We're talking about Sterling now. With Sterling, should I put the emojis to the left or the right? What makes more sense? Should I put it in front of Sterling or next to Sterling? I don't understand here. What should I do here? Because I need to keep it on screen. I'll put it to the right of the... Yeah, right makes sense. So with Sterling, right. I'm going to talk about... this all next thing. I'm going to talk about Sterling right now, basically. I'll highlight him as well. Here we go. There you go. Sterling's highlighted. That makes sense, doesn't it? Sterling, done. So with Sterling, I think there is still a chance that he could leave. It could be, though, that he goes in a year. I don't want Sterling to leave personally. I know some City fans don't like him. You're entitled to your opinion. I personally think with a striker, I think he'll thrive. I honestly feel like if we get Haaland in, I feel like he'll thrive in the way that he did alongside Aguero. That's just honestly my opinion. I can't prove it. I honestly can't prove it. So if you want to tell me I'm talking bollocks, you go for it. It's just my genuine, my guess. So I feel like he could actually thrive in that circumstance, and he's our only pacer forward. And Stumpy MCFC, thank you so much, Stumpy, for the membership, says Sterling out if he does not sign a new contract. Yeah, I think that's likely. This is where I'm at. So if he doesn't sign a new contract this summer, the thing is for me, you've got to consider that in the biggest game of the season so far, away at Real Madrid, he was on the bench. There are some suggestions. That there's a little bit of frustration with Sterling from Guardiola because it's not quite happened fully, and chance after chance, it's never fully happened. So this is where we get to Louis' unbelievably well-timed super chat. Louis, you absolutely fucking legend, pal. He says, swap Sterling for De Jong. So he said that. This is where it gets interesting for me. Like, I'm taking my emotion out of this and I'm looking at it entirely rationally. This is not my opinion. This is just me trying to work out the state of where we're at now. This is me trying to work out what City could do with Sterling and where we're at, basically. So this is not my what I think we should do with Sterling, what I think could happen given the state of play. The state of play is that we've got a genuinely world famous winger here. Like he's an elite level winger. He's not been at his very best maybe, but he's an elite level winger. And he's only got a year and a bit left on his contract. That is not good news. So when you got to that situation, City will be a little bit twitchy. He's an asset in football. And if you're an asset, you have value, and you have value, you're on a spreadsheet as a potential sale because you can't lose someone like Sterling on a free transfer. So I wonder now if we get to a situation where if Sterling is not going to sign a contract, I don't think he probably likes how little he's been in the big games this season. That's a guess. But I think there's a realistic option there that he could be thinking, fancy a change. He's never really hidden this is a guess once again, never really hidden his love for playing in Spain, potentially. So, bearing those things in mind, given what Louise just said, I wonder if City go, look, sign this contract. If not, you'll go this summer because we need to use your value. We don't want him to go on a free transfer. Losing him on a free transfer would be bad. So I wonder if we need a midfielder. If we go Barca, I think he'd be very happy at Barcelona. Honestly, I think he'd be really happy at Barcelona. I think he'd like the lifestyle there. He's always talked about playing in La Liga in general. I wonder if we go straight swap, De Jong, straight swap Sterling. I would not be surprised by that. Would anyone else be surprised by that scenario? It just feels like something that would seem to work pretty much for everyone involved, man. It feels like something that I can see happening. I'm not saying I want that to happen as such. I'm just saying it's something that I can imagine. Guys, it'd be really appreciated. Don't forget, if you are watching this video right now live, please do hit the subscribe button. It'd be great to get the likes up as well. We're at 149 likes, so please do hit the likes. Let's get up to 250 likes. Can we do that? Can you all do that? You're capable. Well, you are capable. You know what I mean? I know you guys. You're wonderful. So I know it's a very weird swap, but the only thing is, if Sterling goes, I think we need a winger, which makes all of a sudden the Rafael Leao and Nkunku links. That makes them make sense, doesn't it? So I don't think City wants Sterling to go. I absolutely, hand on heart, believe City, they don't want him to go. But it feels to me that City could have their they could have their arm twisted here a little bit, and they might have a decision to make with Sterling in general. So that's where we're at. So let's talk about the guy next to him now, Gabriel Jesus. I put the hand of fate next to Jesus there. So with Jesus, Gabriel Jesus, a man that I absolutely love. I love Jesus. I've got so much time for him, so much patience for him. What does everyone reckon is going to happen with Jesus? I wonder if Jesus is sat here going, look, I'm really enjoying my form right now. I'm scoring goals. I'm loving how much I'm valued. But I feel like he's like looking at Alvarez and Haaland going, I am not falling for this one again. I will be on the bench straight away. So I personally would keep him. I would try and convince him to stay. And Azaria, thank you so much, Azaria, by the way, for the membership. I saw you pop up when I was checking my notes before that you'd become a member. Azaria Mawako, thank you so much, and I'd like him to stay too. So I think, in general, I would like him to stay. I wonder, personally, if he doesn't fancy his chances of being anything more than a squad member still with the forwards coming in, Haaland and Alvarez. So I don't think this, once again, is a scenario that really is in City's hands, and he's got a year left again. So I think he might be looking at the Arsenal bid and go, do you know what? London's a cool city. I really like Arteta. I would start for Arsenal because they're going to lose Lacazette and Aubameyang. They haven't got a striker. I would suit into the system. I would link up well and be experienced and senior compared to the likes of, Martinelli, Saka, people like that. I feel like he'd suit that squad. So I've got a feeling that he might want to go still. And there's not really much City can do if he does want to go. We can try and talk him into it. But it's just difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. I can see him actually going to somewhere like Arsenal. I really can. Italian clubs are always going to be linked to Jesus. It just makes sense, doesn't it, Italy, for some reason? Like Juve have always been linked. Look, for me, I would love Jesus in the squad. Absolutely. I don't think you can lose Sterling and Jesus and all that at the same time, man. But I don't know. It would be a huge loss, in my opinion, if we lost Jesus too. But to me, this one is very possible. I'm not saying likely, but it's very, very, very possible. I'll jump over to Bernardo. Look, Bernardo, this is the painful one, but he's on the list for a reason, Bernardo. There were some rumours today going around that he's not fully decided yet. These are rumours going around that he's not fully decided his future. Bernardo absolutely needs to stay. He's fucking world class. He's one of our very best players. I love him, and I would be devastated if he goes. I don't think he will go. The reason I'm a little bit worried with Bernardo is that he's had a great season. I think it's pretty much known that the reason Bernardo wanted to go was not because he didn't love City, not because he didn't love the fans, not because he didn't love Guardiola or his teammates. It was because he actually was a bit unsettled during the pandemic in Manchester. And I can relate to that. I lived in the city centre in the flat with my wife, Well, she wasn't my wife then. Yeah, she was actually, yeah. We got married and stuff like that when I was living in the flat still. And I felt a bit depressed there as well. He comes from a beautiful place. I've been to Lisbon, and it's a fucking gorgeous city. So I understand. And he lived in Monaco before that too, Sunny climates and beautiful places and all that kind of stuff. Coastal as well. So I think he was a bit depressed during lockdown. The only good thing is, good evening, Sean, by the way. The only good thing is, of course, that things have got better. Life's got better. He can get cheap Ryanair flights now, EasyJet flights back to Lisbon dead easily if he wants to. I think he's probably a little bit more happier now, more content, because he can go around Manchester, he can go and travel a little bit and fly. So I think Bernardo is probably a lot more content in life right now than he was previously. So I think the chances of leaving, I think they're not fully gone. I don't think they're fully gone. And Bertvar, thank you so much for the super chat. Bertvar said Bernardo leaving would honestly make me cry. Bertvar Tormenson, I wouldn't be happy either, mate. I'd be devastated because Bernardo is. Oh, Bernardo, don't go. Bernardo is an absolute legend. Bertvar, I would agree, pal. I would agree. But I think there's a chance. There's still a chance. I don't know. Bernardo Ryanair. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but I think it's the only thing that makes me a little bit on edge about Bernardo is that it's been really quiet. You know what I mean? It's been really, really quiet for Bernardo. So I was hoping by now we would have saw, some idea of a contract or something like that, but we'll see. We'll have to see how it goes. Let's go on to Gundo. Gundogan. This is an interesting one, Gundogan. There were some rumours going around that he's got 2 years left, I think, Gundogan. Is that right? Is it 2 years left on his contract? There were some rumours going around recently that he struggled a little bit with back pain and he feels this could actually be a potential somewhere he goes. I don't think he will go, but Buster reckons he does. Like Gundo, I think Gundo could be one of those surprises where it happens every now and then. But once again, is it 1 year now? Is it only 1 year? That would be really interesting. Is it 1 year or is it 2 years? Someone could please clarify for that. He's very much into his coaching, as Sam's just pointed out. I wonder if he's not going to be the kind of player who can go until 35, 36. Apparently he's had bad back pain. I wonder if he'll retire in a couple of years and he might just fancy a year back in Germany or something like that. I don't know if that'll happen. I mean, fingers crossed it doesn't because I love Gundo. But Gundogan's one of those, keep your eye on it and see how things go because Gungo, let's go flip. I fucking love the dad jokes, man. I love it. He said apparently he wants to return to Germany while he's still got it. Buster Jr., do you have a source for that? I'm quoting Buster Jr. there. I don't know how true that is, but I wouldn't be surprised, man. Jamie saying he said he was so good last season. What has happened? It could just be bad back. You know, it can change it. Mo's just checked 1 year left. Well, if that's true, Mo, then yeah, we've got an issue there. So 1 year left on his contract, man. That is one to keep an eye on. That is massively one to keep an eye on with Gundogan because I think there's a real chance there. And if so, that's why the links to people like Matheus Nunes and Frenkie de Jong. The links to these two here, then of course, which I've highlighted, and then of course, the McAtee squad extension and stuff like that. This is where you probably see the Gundogan stuff come from. This is where it comes from. So let's go on to Mahrez. Mahrez is on here simply because his contract is expiring in a year. I actually think Mahrez is going to stay. Unless something weird happens, you know, I think there's a chance that Mahrez, you know, I think he's going to stay here personally. So, Mahrez for me, he's on there because, he's got a year left on his contract. It could be that. It could just be that. Someone comes in for a bid for him, a big bid, and he's like, I fancy going to PSG if they come and bid for him. But Mahrez, the thing to consider Mahrez is that he's been really vocal about how happy he is at Man City. He's become quite senior in the squad as well in a good way in terms of I think he's very established. Also, he has an English wife and she's currently pregnant, I think, as well. So I think he's pretty settled. Obviously, he can move and they're very rich. It's not hard to move when you're really rich and stuff to a very pretty place. But I think Mahrez, I'm going to gloss over Mahrez quickly because I think he'll probably stay. I think he's more likely to stay out of Sterling and Jesus. On to, a quick super chat here from Caleb. Caleb, you absolute legend. Caleb says, can't see Sterling joining Barca. Xavi was majority of the Spanish first team in his squad. A Laporte for De Jong swap makes much more sense. You got to consider, by the way, Caleb, I think people have forgotten. Let me find it. Let me Google it. Xavi once said Sterling is one of the best forwards in world football. I'm pretty certain he did. Didn't he say that? Have I imagined that? Like, I feel like he once said that. Yeah, Xavi once said 2 years ago, Sterling can become the best player in the world. So I'm going to politely disagree with you there, Caleb, actually. I think Xavi's been very vocal about his interest in there. But thank you so much, Super Chat. Maybe you're right, man. Laporte for De Jong swap makes more sense. Maybe it does. But it's easy to forget these things sometimes. But Caleb, you're a legend, man. Thank you so much. I went off the wrong screen there. Thank you so much for the Super Chat. So that is something to consider. Yeah, he loves him a lot, man. He loves him a lot, and maybe he could be what they want Dembele to be in terms of, sorry, I've zoned out then. I was too busy reading comments. Maybe he could be what they want Dembele to be, never injured, essentially, a lightning pace winger. You could be right though, Caleb. So we'll see. Sterling would be a better of a striker. I think I agree, but we'll see. We'll see with Mahrez. Stefan, I think we'll go. Stefan's a quick one. Let's not gloss over Stefan. I think Stefan could go just simply because 2 years as a backup now. I think he fancies himself as a first team player. In fact, I'm almost certain Stefan's going to go. That I would say that's a strong chance, an 8 out of 10. I think Stefan will go mainly because I think he's not burned any bridges. That's the wrong word to say. But I think largely he had a pretty tough time. And I feel like the FA Cup semi-final was too much for him. And I think he'll go, unfortunately. See you later, pal. Laporte. I put Laporte on here. The Laporte's on here because there were rumours. Stefan did sign a new contract, but I still think he could go AM. I know that's true, but I think he could still be sold. And also Bazuna could come back in as the backup potentially. You know, Gavin Bazuna could do. Yeah, Austin has pointed out that he said he heard that Stefan was the first team for the US national team ahead of the World Cup. So I think that's true. I think if he wants to get in the World Cup squad, he won't be sat on Man City's bench in terms of the starter. Laporte, anyway, quickly. He's on here because there was rumours about him wanting to go last year. I think Laporte will stay, so I'm going to brush over that quickly. Dylan Black, thank you, Dylan. He just said, do you think Mbete and Callum Doyle could be called up? If potentially one of these guys goes, then maybe. Though I do think Mbete and Callum Doyle have to have another loan first. Callum Doyle, a second loan at a high level, and Mbete, his first loan. But I think they've both got a chance, man. I like them. Left-footed as well. Good turn of pace, both of them. Both physical. So, yeah, potentially, yeah. So that's where we're at, really. So we've gone through all those names on the list, man. That's great. Thank you to everyone. I've enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed the stream. It's been really good fun. Let's try what I think will happen. I'm gonna talk about what I think will happen now. I'm gonna literally just wrap it up. I'm gonna put my guesses here. My guess is Alvarez comes in, Haaland comes in, one of Nunes, FD or Frenkie de Jong, and then for me, a long summer of fullback speculation, but ultimately none. That's what I reckon. That's what I reckon is going to happen. Does anyone agree with that? Maybe this is what I think will happen. In terms of actual players out, obviously Ferner goes. I think Stefan... I mean, if you disagree, by the way, I think Stefan will go... and potentially one of Jesus, Sterling, maybe both. This is what I think will happen. If Sterling goes, City go for a winger like Leo or maybe even Cuckoo. Something like that. I think something like that. The wife's in the chat, but I think we go for something like that. Maybe. Mendy's going. I mean, I wouldn't think about it. But guys, thank you so much for watching. An hour chat there, and the wife's finished work, so I'm going to go and say hello to the wife. Enjoyed it loads. I will be back tomorrow morning for a match preview, so I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Did you enjoy that video? Do let me know in the comments. And of course, once again, I would implore you to be absolute legends and give this video a watch. Where's it gone? Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me jump over here. Where am I at? There we go. Go and give the City vlog a watch. It would be massively appreciated if you don't mind. It was genuinely one of the coolest experiences. Just chatting away. I'll show you now. I'll play a little bit of it now for you. I shouldn't get copyright protected with this, hopefully. Hopefully not. There you go.
So we just landed here in Hamburg and we're on our way to meet Manchester City channel and give him some support. We set up the first ever supporters club here in Germany. I cannot wait to meet him.
It's cool, isn't it? It's cool. Leonard, it's lovely, man. Great to meet you.
Very nice to finally meet you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Welcome to Hamburg.
Was it? So we watched the Burnley game together.
Leonard, you're a Manchester City fan living in Germany. How did that come to happen?
That was about 2005, back in the days as a young lad.
So yeah, there we go. If you could go and give that some love, that would be massively appreciated over on City's YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Stephen, your tea's ready. Oh, yeah. It's not actually. Oh, you threw me. Oh. Anyway, you're all awesome. I love you all loads. I enjoyed that. I thought it was good fun, good old chat, and lots of good stuff. Thank you so much to everyone who's watched. For now, have a wonderful evening. It's Friday. We're going to do some life organisation. We might even have a rum and coke and stuff like that. For now, thank you so much to everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you tomorrow, of course, as well for the match preview. Might go live tomorrow evening as well for like pick the 11 live kind of thing. And of course, at the weekend for the game. Have a wonderful evening. Catch you on a bit. Thank you for watching. Give this video a big old like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Bye-bye.